8 conversation starters that always work. Welcome back to the channel WISGRAM, where you can get practical wisdom for money, investing, success, and more. In today's video, I'll be sharing the 8 conversation starters that always work. But before we begin, please give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so that you wouldn't miss any of our new videos that will be uploaded every week. Now, let's get started. When talking to people, especially new contacts, you might not have a lot of topics to talk about. So while you find it exciting to share some good news with a friend, it might not be the same case for a total stranger. Just think about it. How would you find someone who asks, "Where do you live?" out of nowhere? Creepy, right? With the notion of conversation as a building block towards building and maintaining a relationship, it is essential to know the tips on starting a conversation to possibly lead to a genuine connection, either for personal or business. So, what are these 8 conversation starters? Number 1. Ask for information. The easiest way to start a conversation with a complete stranger is to ask for information. It doesn't have to be too formal. You can talk to someone anytime by asking questions you know they can answer. For example, if that person wears a watch, you can say, "Excuse me, what time is it?" Or if you're both attending a convention, you could simply ask, "Do you know where the venue is located?" These simple and approachable questions drive you to interact with a stranger because they give you the reason. People see you as someone friendly by making a warm approach. As a result, they're more likely to respond and get along throughout the conversation. So try not to complicate things. Just open the conversation with an easy question, even if you already know the answer to it. You just have to build a new connection with someone you've never met. Number 2. Start small. You wouldn't want to drive away people by diving right into serious subject matters, would you? Most of the time, jumping into big talks makes people feel uncomfortable. They are hesitant to share their personal opinions and experiences with someone they don't know too well. So, starting small talk is a helpful conversation technique as it sets the mood between the person and you while you try to establish a sincere connection. So, how to use small talk in a conversation? First, learn the little bits about how the other person talks and acts. From there, you can start with a general topic and gradually narrow it down to something specific. You can first ask about the weather in their hometown, the sports they love to play, or what countries they have been to. Skilled conversationalists use small talk to gear people toward a certain intention. For example, let's say you want to promote your restaurant with a stranger. How do you do that without driving the other person off? You can talk about food or share stories about the foods you have tried so far and tell the person what food you're likely to recommend. By that, you can simply insert your business into the flow of the conversation. That's how you do it. With the right strategy and approach, you'll be able to lead the conversation in the direction you want to go. Number 3. Discuss similarities. What if your purpose in starting a conversation is to build a relationship? A friendship, maybe? Well, you can get to know the other person by talking about things you have in common. Studies show that commonality creates an instant bond and a mutual feeling of sympathy because of two people's same kind of experience. So let's assume you want to talk to a stranger or an acquaintance from a long time ago. How would you find something in common with a person you barely know about? Look into the surface level details. For example, you might be wearing the same type of shirt or listening to the same brand of speakers. Ask them where they got their shirt or what they like about the speakers. From there, you can start the conversation rolling. You might even find a surprising number of similarities between you and a complete stranger. With this strategy, you'll develop an instant connection, and it will bring you two closer together. Number 4. Ask for a favor. Did you know that asking for a favor is a psychological trick invented by Ben Franklin? He explains that when someone favors someone else, it sparks a connection between two people. But these favors don't have to be huge. You just have to ask for something easy that anyone could grant right away. For example, questions like, "Can I borrow your pen?" or "Can you tell me where to find the nearest bathroom?" brings a little effort but builds the foundation of the talk. It is those favors that bind two people together. If you lend someone a pen, you become somewhat connected to that person. If you assist someone to the nearest bathroom, you'll feel partly responsible for their comfort and welfare. Plus, it is human nature to make physical, mental, and emotional investments with people who ask for help. In a crowd full of strangers, the person who did you a favor becomes someone familiar. You see, people remember and recognize people who do the acts of service, whether it's simple or grand. Number 5. Offer services. If option 4 does not work best for you, you can start a conversation by doing the opposite, offering someone services. Well, most people tend to mind their own business, not getting involved in other people's whereabouts. That's why people who offer help stand out among the rest and become somewhat of a hero for someone else. In a simple case, let's say you see someone who looked lost in a venue. You can offer help by saying, "Are you lost? Maybe I can help you." This approach validates the other person's feelings, in which they will perceive you as someone kind and empathetic to extend help to someone in need. Not to mention that this gives a lasting impression to the receiver of the favor. Number 6. Come out with a compliment. Tell someone that you like their haircut or that you find their fashion style outstanding. These change the receiver's mood of the compliment and become subconsciously warmer. Compliments are great conversation starters because they instantly flatter the recipient. It makes people feel acknowledged and appreciated, aiding in boosting their self-confidence. However, if you throw someone a compliment, you have to literally mean it. You wouldn't want to flatter someone with a dishonest statement, would you? Well, people know at the back of their head if you're just trying to blabber things without being truthful. So take the time to ponder how that person seems special and what makes you admire them from the get-go. By that, when you step up in the conversation, your approach becomes natural and sincere, and there's a high chance of them being a lot more comfortable opening up. After all, that's your goal. Number 7. Crack a joke. Why do bees have sticky hair? Because they use honeycombs. Who doesn't love jokes? Everybody does. Starting out a conversation sometimes means opening a joke. A joke makes another person laugh, and with that, you're creating a sympathetic connection that sustains an entire conversation. But remember, you should always find a joke related to the topic at hand. Otherwise, you'll seem strange and offbeat. So, whatever joke it is, it will allow you to lead a conversation. Number 8. Keep it simple. This is the last option on the list. If you don't want to think of any strategy to start a conversation, just find someone to talk to. Walk up and introduce yourself. Be confident. Before you know it, you two will get fast along. The only downfall of this approach is that, unlike the other tricks, this doesn't give you a certain topic to talk to. Once you say hello and tell someone your name, you have to formulate things to say next. Just try using one of the other items on the list, depending on the situation you're in. Just be yourself, and that'll do the trick. In starting a conversation, just remember to actively listen, have confidence, and act naturally. Everything else will follow. With that said, among the 8 conversation starters, which do you find the most comfortable? Share it with us below. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you again soon in another one of our episodes. Once again, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family so that they can enjoy it as well. With that said, have a wonderful day everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.